Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at God Crochet and Chatter. Wow, it's been a busy morning. Yesterday I did go up to see my daughter, and she isn't doing well. They bumped her up to 5 liters of oxygen. They upped her steroids to 60 milligrams 3 times a day. Today I talked with her, and she said that her situation isn't going to be cleared up quickly. She has a severe asthma attack happening, and her lungs are very inflamed, so most likely she won't be getting out anytime soon. I'm looking for at least 3 more days. Once they can get her stabilized where she don't need the oxygen, she's holding her own, and the inflammation has gone way down, then perhaps she'll be able to go home. So please keep her in your prayers. I called her today, and she's feeling quite down. She said, "Mom, my face is all puffy." And I said, "Oh, honey, don't worry. It's okay." And so I'm planning to make a trip up to the hospital tomorrow to visit with her for a couple of hours. And if nothing else, just sit and hold her hand. Sometimes that's the best way to comfort people when there are no answers. You want to say something to make them feel better, or, fix it. But sometimes there's just no words that can be had. So just sitting next to someone, holding their hand, can mean the world to them. So this morning I went to the ER. Nothing serious. I got a shot of Toradol for my knee, and they wrapped it. They took an x-ray and said I have a lot of moderate arthritis in my knee, and because of all the rain and everything, that it even hurts more during this type of weather when the humidity gets high and it rains. So I'm sure some of you suffer from that too. So, like I said before, all these aches and pains we are victorious in Christ, and life does go on. So we come together and comfort one another, encourage one another, and I'm just so glad that I've had so many new subscribers, and my regular subscribers. I mean, you guys are great. And like I said before, this is our channel. We are a group of sisters together, having a ladies' Bible study, a ladies' prayer group, all that kind of thing. And if there's any guys out there, you're in this too. So I don't want to leave anybody out. All right, let's get to our trivia question, and then our lesson for today, our overview of 1 Corinthians. The last trivia question was, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal." Who said that? Paul did. Paul said a lot of good things. Today's question is, what list is found in the last chapter of Ezra? I almost gave you the answer. What list is found in the last chapter of Ezra? All right. I'm going to read from my Max Ludo Study Bible, the little intro. An Indian was walking up a mountain when he heard a voice. "Carry me with you," it requested. The Indian turned and saw a snake. He refused. "If I carry you up the mountain, you're going to bite me." "I wouldn't do that," the snake answered. "All I need is some help. I'm slow, you are fast. Please be kind and carry me to the top of the mountain." It was against his better judgment, but the Indian agreed. He picked up the snake, put him in his shirt, and resumed the journey. When they reached the top, he reached in his shirt to remove the snake and got bit. He fell to the ground, and the snake slithered away. "You lied," the Indian cried. "You said you wouldn't bite me." The snake stopped and looked back. "I didn't lie. You knew who I was when you picked me up." We hear the legend and shake our heads. He should have known better, we bemoan, and we are right. He should have known better. And so should we. But don't we do the same? Don't we believe the lies of the snake? Don't we pick up what we should leave alone? The Corinthian Christians did. One snake after another hissed his lies in their ears, and they believed it. How many lies did they believe? How much time do you have? The list is long and ugly. Sectarianism, disunity, sexual immorality, and that is only the first 6 chapters. But 1 Corinthians is more than a list of sins. It's an epistle of patience. Paul initiates the letter by calling these Christians brothers. He could have called them heretics or hypocrites or skirt chasers, and in so many words he does, but not before he calls them brothers. He patiently teaches them about worship, unity, the role of women, and the Lord's Supper. He writes as if he can see them face to face. He is disturbed, but not despondent, angry, but not desperate. His driving passion is love. And his treatise on love in chapter 13 remains the greatest essay ever penned. We can all agree to that. This letter, however personal, is not just for Corinth. This letter, however personal, is not just for Corinth. It is for all who have heard the whisper and felt the fangs. We, like the Indians, should have known better. We, like the Corinthians, sometimes need a second chance. Now, when Paul was writing these letters to the church at Corinthian, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, there were lots of problems, lots of questions. There were problems and solutions, questions and answers. There was moral corruption. He wanted them not to become like the pagans around them. And in 2 Corinthians, we're going to see where the Corinthians kind of turned on Paul a little bit, like, who are you to tell us this? So, imagine you belong to a church. You've gone there for years. And they're by the book scripturally. They have a great membership. They are not involved in sexual immorality. They're not involved in smoking, drinking, carousing around, all those things. And then you go back, say you move away for a year, and then you go back to that home church. And wow, things have changed drastically. They're involved in things in the world like the pagans around them. And that's what was happening at Corinthian. The pagans around them were having an influence on them. There were conflicts with each other. There was all kind of things that they were struggling with. And the church was divided. And we can find all these things in the book of Corinthians that was going on. What would you do? Would you walk out and just shake your head? Or would you write a letter to the church and the elders and the board of deacons? Would you try to find out what happened? How did you guys get so far off track? You need to come back to Jesus, to God. And that's essentially what Paul does in 1 Corinthians. Like, you've gotten off the mark. You need to do this. That, you know, there can't be no divisions among you. You can't, you know, some of you there were teachers, Apollos and Peter and another guy, and it's like all of you are saying, I'm of this, I'm of that. No, we are all of God. You can't have a pagan God and God. God doesn't share his throne. And so Paul was trying to get all these things straightened out in this letter. It's a great letter to read. I would encourage you to do so. And in this study Bible that I have, I think I showed you this before. Here's chapter 1, and then it's got all these nice little notes regarding chapter 1. And at the end, it gives you application. There's situation, what the situation is, observation, the inspiration from that chapter, the application, and then it gives you a few extra verses for exploration. I definitely would like to take a chapter of the book and do that. If you have a book suggestion that you would like to go through chapter by chapter, and I could read this, or you could read the chapter on your own, then we could go a little bit deeper into that chapter. I'm up for it. Let me know if you're up for it. I love the Lord. I wish I could just stay on here and talk all day. I would. But I find 10 to 15 minutes is usually the normal length for a YouTube video. There are some that go longer. I could do a longer Bible study sometime if you'd like that. I could do a separate one. Maybe I could do this in a separate video for people that want to follow like the book of Corinthians. And then that would strictly be for people that want to go there, do that study, and we go through the book of Corinthians. So let me know your thinking on that, because I said this is our group. We got our prayer day coming up. We've got tidbit thinking. So we want to have a good diversity going on, because the time is short and we want to learn everything that we can about the Lord and being in line with what He wants us to do, being in His will. So listen, everyone, you have a most blessed day in the Lord. I am going to go later today and exchange my husband's phone. The one he has doesn't ring half the time, and it's been a real pain. So he's going to get his new phone today for free. So that's good. We get it for free when we keep our contract with Metro PCS. So that's kind of cool. All right, everyone. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow on Got Crochet and Chatter.